everybody, Shawn here. Thanks for tuning in. This is the ProAnalog Devices Manticore version 2 Overdrive pedal. It's based on the original Manticore that came out in 2017. It was a very innovative overdrive pedal, but they've gone ahead and further evolved that pedal into what we're looking at now, which is even more unique and tonally versatile. So I'll just briefly go through these top panel controls and then we'll get right into the demo and I'll explain them further then. So you get on the top panel, you get a level control, you get a treble control, you get a Savage control, and I'll explain what that's all about in the demo. You get a gain control, which is your overdrive control, and then you get a drive control, which is essentially your clean boost control into the input of the pedal, and I'll get into that as well. Now it also has a really great super fast soft switch that's very low current draw, very well designed. It's 9-volt DC powered. And then your inputs and outputs are on the front of the pedal, which makes it much more pedal board friendly as far as space saving goes. So without further yammering on, let's check out this ProAnalog Devices Manticore version 2 overdrive pedal. Okay, let's get straight into sounds. I'm going to use my Suhr Classic Pro Strat. It's a single hum guitar, which I think is going to give us the best of both worlds for this demo. I'm going to run that into my Red Plate Blues Machine amplifier. It's basically a Fender Deluxe style amp. So here's the guitar into the amp. Here's the Manticore. Now the way I have it dialed right now is basically just as a clean enhancement. So what it's doing is it's boosting a little bit of level above unity, but it's also giving you a way more complex and open sounding treble. Now I can go ahead and hit the front end of the amp even harder, just turning up the level and create overdrive from the amp. So there's a lot of tone just in these two controls, and you'll find that they're very interactive as you start bringing in the other controls. But right now, what I want to do is just take you guys from clean to mean. So here's kind of the boosted clean setting. Now what we'll do is we'll move on to the Savage control. Now what that's going to do is give you a little bit more low end as you turn it up. It's almost like adding a 4x12 to your sound. But as you turn it up, it's also going to add some clipping, hence the reason it's called Savage. Now I really like that setting there. It's almost what I would use as an always-on setting. Now, if you want to get more kind of into tweed land, you can start turning up the Savage. You're going to get more clipping. So that's how the Savage control works, and it is very interactive with the rest of the controls. And speaking of that, let's move on to the drive. I'm going to move all the way to the right. Now that's a clean input control. It also drives 3 filters that are low, mids, and highs. So not only is it going to give you more boosted kind of input to the pedal itself, but it's also going to give you boosts in low, highs, and mids. So it's a more kind of broad band sound. can just sound huge. And you could see I was intuitively turning down the treble as I turned up the drive, because once again, these are very interactive controls. So that's the drive control. I'll go ahead and turn that down. Now let's look at the gain control. That's more of a strict overdrive control. I'll start turning that up. It's really great sounding. Now you can start dialing in your own voice. There's really not like a set typical sweet spot that you find on a lot of overdrive pedals. This pedal really helps you find your own voice. So now we can start letting the other controls interact with, say, how we have the gain set. So if I were to shut the drive off, it sounds a little more almost like a tube screamer. But I can get it sounding bigger by just rolling the drive in a little bit. Bring in a little bit of low end with the Savage control. So that is the Manticore. It's an incredibly versatile overdrive pedal. It's designed to help the player find his own voice, his or her own voice. Very intuitive, very interactive controls. If you've got any further questions about this pedal, go to the ProAnalog Devices site and ask away. And as always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you next time.